Yo, what's up, guys? Today I'll be talking about some that I've been meaning to talk about for a while, and I've always had in my mind. But I think it's finally time for me to, kind of say what I want to say. Um, it's really early in the morning, so if I look like trash or my voice kind of sounds like, you know, not as cute, no, but whatever. Um, so I want to talk about school and college. Okay. Uh, Firstly, um, uh, school and college uh, isn't for everyone. Okay, everybody, you know, everybody has their own like ideas and stuff. Personally, I think if you don't have an idea on what you want to do in life, you shouldn't drop out of school. You shouldn't. You should. I don't think you should ever drop out of high school unless you become rich somehow. I think you finish high school and then you decide if you want to go to college or not, based on what you want to do. So, um, I just visited the University of Kentucky, and I kind of went in there. I was a very kind of no, not very, but I was kind of like an anti-college person because I really don't believe that it was right for me, and it just like the debt kind of just kept me far away because I don't want to be paying that off like you know 20 years 10 20 years of my life. um so that was kind of one of my biggest things. I also just don't like school in general, like all the work and stuff, so that was kind of boring. But after visiting, I realized that it's a lot different from high school, and it's a lot more excuse me. It's a lot more it's a lot more like free. It's also very um very like push to do group work and stuff, which is kind of cool. I'd like to meet a lot of new people, so that would be fun, you know. Um, there's obviously still gonna be the things I hate and the debt that I'm gonna have to pay off if I do end up going, but from what I've heard, it sounds like it's worth it. Um, so yeah. Um, so it's your choice, right? You don't have to go to college if you don't want to. Your parents have no control over you once you finish high school. So, make your own decision. But don't shut down that option unless you truly know, like, it's what you don't want. Because you don't want to go, like, 5 years down the line, I guess, where you haven't done it. And then you've just been working a job that barely pays and you can barely pay off bills of, like, your apartment because you get kicked out of the house or whatever. It's just not good. So make sure you always have a plan, because if you don't have a plan, you're just gonna get messed up. Also, something else I would like to talk about is um, like learning and different ways of learning and like stuff you learn. So my brother brought this up to me a lot. He said that um, it's important to like know a lot, right? Um, Not just master at one thing, kind of. Obviously, you're gonna have to like major in something, but it's like important that you like try other things and learn different stuff, because like the wealthiest people right now, like the most um not happy, but the most successful people right now have like so many different abilities. They aren't just focused on one thing, I guess. They're able to do so many things. Um, so that's another thing that I've been taking into consideration. Probably I'll probably major in something if I do go to college, and then have a bunch of other things that I do like YouTube and music. So, or yeah, probably like that. But yeah, um, and then how we learn, right? Okay, so schools are made. Um, they're originally made for factory workers. That's what we're trained to. That's pretty much like what we're trained to be like. Um, kind of like, prison too. You know, you have a certain time of the day to eat, certain time of the day to go outside. Sometimes not when you're in high school. Um, so it's kind of, it's very, school is a very broken system. It needs to be like fixed and stuff. But um, I'll try to work on that in the future and help. But as of right now, it's a very, very tough spot. Um, Also, so the way we learn, um, there's like uh, auditory, right, which is like listening. There's visual, which is like looking. There's like um, whatever it's called, like physical kind of, where it's like touching, hands on, and there's probably another one, like kind of speaking. I don't know. There's a lot, but um, so not everyone is gonna be good at this factory system. Lots of people learn in different ways. I know my friend Christian, who's told me about this. He's more of a like hands-on worker rather than just listening to it and writing it down in his notes. Not everyone needs to write things down in their notes. It should be something that like some people use. Also, another thing in school, memory. I think that is the dumbest thing. Memory is just something we really shouldn't focus on because you don't learn. You just remember. So, my voice just cracked. I'm sorry. So, I think that should be different. A lot of the memory stuff, because that's not like truly saying if you know something. I'm gonna be completely honest, I could pass with all A's and like the friggin' just amazing in classes, but a lot of it I just don't put effort in because I don't think, like, sometimes it's really not worth it, right? Grades do not depict your future, nor do they express your intelligence, but I think they do show how much effort you put in. If you have a B in a class, that means you're putting in B effort. You're not putting in all your effort. But yeah. I also think teachers should be more considerate of what's going on in a kid's life. There's a lot of good teachers out there, but some of them really don't. It doesn't feel like they are doing this for us. They're kind of doing it for the job, which is also not that smart because it doesn't pay the biggest bill in some places, or it doesn't. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's not the biggest money maker in the world, but it should be something that you all the time you put in as much effort as possible for the teachers. Like, the teachers should be like just doing their absolute best all the time because it's like their job, and this is like the next generation that they're teaching, so they need to like really really help. That could also be a reason that maybe somebody's our generation wouldn't be the greatest is because we aren't receiving the same amount of like affection or effort that, excuse me, I told you it was early, effort or like time that other generations have kind of gotten. So, yeah. So that's another thing. None of us are the same, right? So, boomers, you know, like they have a completely different worth ethic because they were they worked during, they worked during the war, right? So they have like a completely different worth ethic, okay? You know, they've had to get out of Great Depressions or recessions or whatever, you know. We're just sitting here, we're kind of like on a pile of wealth. A lot of us like already have stuff, so we don't really have to worry about anything. So it's hard for us to kind of advance. And I will say that phones are definitely a advantage and disadvantage because not only do they like push us forward and help us like see new things, but they are a huge distraction, and if you don't control how much you use it, then you will be taken over completely. But yeah, it's another topic for another time. So yeah, pretty much do whatever you want in school. I don't suggest dropping out until you have a plan. Just because you don't like school doesn't mean that it's like terrible for you, I guess. Everybody doesn't like, or nobody likes school. That's what I meant to say. Nobody really does, but you know, some people have higher aspirations. So yeah. So yeah, that's really all I had to talk about. University of Kentucky was beautiful. It was a very, very, very nice place. They said they like redid it and then they fixed some of the student part, or not fixed, but altered some of the student part. So it looks very, very good. And the staff there seems amazing. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to learning more about college. And do I think I will go? Maybe. I don't want to keep my mind set on one thing. Kind of want to keep my options open. But yeah. Thanks for watching. If you have another suggestion, leave it in the comments. Or if you know me, just like hit me up or whatever. But yeah. So yeah. See you later. New videos. Actually, yeah, this should be a thing. So I'm on break right now. I will probably try to get out 3 or 4 videos like this week. So I do need ideas, or just more topics. Like I have topics, but I don't know if you guys would like to hear them. Because maybe there'll be a time where you actually do need it, so I can make the video at that time. But yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching. Ace out.